Such a slow fan drop today, Lana.
I know it's too hot here in Fiji for me to just pop it. I just really wanted to enjoy it. It's so
Oh,
warm out.
I'm feeling very. I didn't intend to wear a shirt with a palm tree on it, but I did.
Ooh, very beachy. And hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your reality thirst. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And if you have some tea, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently drinking Sprite because
Part.
why not? It's crisp, it's refreshing for my hot day here in Fiji, period. So, but if I was drinking anything else, I would be drinking it out of my cup mug.
Yeah.
Ew. And you know what? You can get your cup mug too at lanagcreations.etsy.com or all of our official cup merch. And we do ship internationally and domestically. So there are no excuses. I'm looking at you, Fiji, and I'm looking at you, Love Islanders, all over the world. I see you. I see you, Islanders. Get your cup merch. Purr.
I got a text. I
Woo!
I actually did just get a text from my roommate, so that's fun.
Oh, yay.
As I was saying, and I was like, "Oh, that's an actual text. Great." Uh, What's up, Islanders? I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I am actually drinking tea today.
Purr.
I am drinking some black cherry limeade that I mixed with a little bit of green tea because I wanted just a little bit more caffeine. And of course, doing so in my cup mug. Of course.
Yes, yes.
But I am excited we are back, Lana, to talk about Love Island games.
Yeah. I mean, we did say when the dumping happened, we'll be here. It happened.
And we're here for
We're
a little bit
here.
more than the dumping, because let me be
Oh,
real, y'all. So Lana goes, so we're gonna talk about episodes 8 and 9, and then Lana goes, but I also really want to talk about episode 11. And I'm like, okay. I mean, at that point, I hadn't seen episode 11. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I'll catch up. Great. And then I'm like, oh, I see why you want to talk about episode 11.
yeah. I was not wasting any time on this. I was like, we need to talk about this today. Because I don't know how long I could have held on to myself not talking about all the way up until 11. Because, when I tell you, these last three episodes were so good. They were so good. I was so excited. Like, I could not wait to talk about this. I didn't care what time we were going to record it. I was like, we'll find time in the schedule to record it. And we got a lot of things to record, people. By the way, since we're talking about how much we record, why don't you subscribe and hit
Part,
that button? Hit the
part.
notification bell so you can see when all of our videos drop because we got a lot of great content coming your way and you don't want to miss it. So hit that subscribe button, hit the follows, the shares, the likes, all of the things. And don't worry, if you sit and watch through all of us talking about this Love Island, don't worry, we'll remind you at the end of the video. And we'll put the thing right up there soon. But yeah,
Part.
episode 8. I'm ready to jump right into it because
Talk on it, Lana.
okay, okay. First, I'm gonna do right. I'm gonna pull up our stuff.
Good.
We're gonna act professional, even though I'm excited. I'm gonna act professional because first things first. Here's this beautiful cast. This is where we stand. This is where we stand right now at the
That part.
at the beginning of episode 8.
Yep.
We get a lot of, everybody's happy, everybody's coupled. Mostly everybody's happy with their couples.
Yep.
If you're not in a full-blown relationship, you're at least friendly with the person you're with.
You're in a friendship couple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people are okay with this at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Couples.
yes, we do have our couples, and there. I mean, we saw where we left off, but just for a little reminder, if you didn't see, our couples are as follows. My babes. I'm biased.
Her.
Justine is here. Jack and Justine. Then we have Callum and Liberty, who I am
My other
appreciative very
favorite
much.
couple.
I like them.
I'm going to be
but
honest, and we'll talk about it throughout this episode, but I really do think we are getting to a Callum and Liberty love peak. I see it in the future, and I'm not alone on social media, so I'm happy to see it. I just like them both so much, and I want them both to be successful.
We'll see. Then we have a Ray and Imani.
Purr.
This actual no, we'll keep going. Then we'll have Kira and Megan.
Let's go bisexuals.
And then we have Johnny and Jess. And then we have Toby and Georgia. And we have Sally and her. So we start off episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's, chatting it up like they always do.
That part.
And people are getting to know each other. Really, not a lot to happen to the very end for me. But everybody's getting to know each other. And people are, just mingling, chatting, building the relationships that they have. We see a lot of talks and chats between y'all and Sally. They're chatting it up. They're trying to get to know each other. And we also get a lot of chats between Toby and Georgia because they're the newest couples at the time. So they're trying to, get to know each other, talk to each other, feel each other out. But Sally is also wondering what this means between her and Toby, if her and Toby still have a connection, if it's something that they, if that door's still open now that they're in 2 new couples. Toby is kind of wondering the same thing, but neither one of them are going about asking each other. They're kind of just like talking about it with other people around each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was kind of weird to me.
We'll talk about it more. These two frustrated the fuck out of me in this episode. I'm just like,
yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Why?
What was the reason?
What? But I don't really know. But like I said, conversation we're having. Johnny is still talking to Georgia, trying to get some conversation in with Georgia, and Jess is always yet and still she's fuming. Jess is fuming.
And I really don't blame her. And I'm gonna say it right here. I understand that she might be a little exaggerative in the way that she goes about things, and she might be a little emotional and things like that. But I am Team Jess here. And it has nothing to do with my prior biases against Johnny. It has everything to do with the fact that I just want her to be successful and happy.
And you have that right to do that.
Thank you.
To think that and be Team Jess. I am neither Team Jess nor Team Johnny because honestly, Johnny is fundamentally not doing anything wrong.
No, but he's frustrating me.
I mean, he's frustrating, but he's not doing anything wrong. And so I can't rightfully be like, I'm team Jess in this because she's right and he's wrong, because he's
He
not
did do
wrong.
one thing in this episode, in episode 11.
Later episodes we'll talk about. But right now, he's
He's not wrong.
not doing anything fundamentally wrong. Well, we'll talk about it.
Mhm.
He's not doing anything fundamentally wrong. And so I can't be like, oh, Johnny is horrible and Jess is right. Do I think her feelings are valid? Sure. I do think it's probably very frustrating because she doesn't even realize how much she actually really likes Johnny. And the fact that she's trying to play it off as she don't really care, but then she really does, is kind of frustrating her in her own mind, because it's like, how do I cope with these feelings that I might have for somebody who might not be into me or might not have feelings for me? And it's kind of that's probably like a weird mind like struggle between.
I've been in that scenario, like in the outside world, obviously. Hi, never been on Love Island. But like I have been in that scenario in the outside world, and when I tell you it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It is the worst feeling. I think that might be why I resonate so much with Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I have definitely, and this was years and years ago at this point. And I realized that all of this behavior when I was younger was stupid. But when I was younger, I definitely remember going after guys over and over and over and over again, and just constantly like not getting anything from them. And then I'd get a little bit from them and I ran with it. And then it was like nothing. So I understand it. And I think that I think that is why I resonate with Jess so much, is because like I get it, because I've been in her exact scenario and I know how that shit feels, and it doesn't feel great.
I mean, I've been there too. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's been in a relationship that has not thought that maybe this person is not that into me as much as I am into them. And it's a whole mind struggle, because it's like, I think I like this person, but I gotta act like I don't like this person because we gotta play this game. And it's like, why are we playing this game? It's back and forth, and it's so dang stupid. But when you're in it, that is the most important thing to you at that point. And you're like this person. And in this situation with Jess and Johnny, in this pressure cooker of an environment where it's set up for them to explore other options while still being coupled up with somebody else and trying to get to know somebody, it's weird when I'm sitting there with you and I'm giving you all of this attention. I'm telling you all of these secrets. We're talking about very personal things. And then I turn around and you're talking to somebody else and you sniggering and laughing and giggling and kissing. And I'm like, what? We just doing? Am I not? So yeah, I feel for Jess. I feel like that's like such a whole mishmash of feelings that she's going through right in her head, and it's not cute. And I hate that for her. I hate it for her. But on the flip side, Johnny is not doing anything fundamentally wrong, because he told her he's open until he's not open. And she agreed to that. So when you agree to something like that, you're like, yep, okay, I understand. I think if that's not what you want, just say, you know what, I can't be in a relationship where you're open until you're not open. Then that's like, I respect that, but that's not how I want to roll. And you move on. But she agreed to it. She was like, yeah, I mean, I'm open too until I'm not open. And that's just what it is. So you can't get mad when he's still doing what he's doing, because he's still open until he's not. Man, it's weird, but got it. So they're all chit chatting, and then I want to skip right on later to the night, honestly, because a lot of the stuff that was just talking during the day, unless you have something.
I don't care about the rest of it. I want to talk about
the game.
Moira. I want to talk about Moira first and foremost, and most especially because I did watch her season of Love Island.
Okay.
And she's one of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw her in the preview, and I said, "Oh, Miss Moira's up in here," purr. Because I knew if nothing else, that lady was going to give us drama. I love
And
Maura.
did she
Oh
ever?
my Lord Jesus.
Did she ever give us drama? Oh, she sure did. Oh,
Also, to date, she has one of the best Love Island promo photos of all time. Of
well,
all
all
time.
right.
And she
Okay,
should have won
well.
her series of Love Island. I said what I said.
Oh, well, you heard it here, folks.
Actually, you know what? Let me find her. Let me find her Love Island promo. I need to show you because it's incredible. And she looks incredible.
Great. Well, I'll continue to talk while you find it. So we do go more does come out because we have a game. And it's the getting to know each other or know your partner type game. It's like a newlywed game type of thing. So all the girls on one side of the wall, all the guys and Megan are on another side of the wall.
Guys and Megan.
On the other side of the wall.
Do you want the full cast up, Lana?
Sure, we'll put the full cast up because
just so that way we're. I mean, I like looking at Ayal and Sally. Don't get me wrong, but just so everybody.
So the full cast is up, and they are. That's the side, except switch Kira and Megan, and that's how the wall looks. That's how the wall is separated. But so everybody's on those sides. They've got their little heart chalkboards, and they're ready for the question. First, before we go into that, because there's a little piece of information I forgot to mention that we don't need to leave out. Because right after the pie game, we had a conversation between Megan and y'all. Because y'all and Megan have history. They were on the same season. They hooked up on the season. And they were together for a minute, but it didn't work. It didn't work. So it was fun. So Megan and y'all's kind of like, we hadn't really chatted. Let's chat. And they go up to Soul Ties to chat. And they were joking back and forth about the pie situation. They both pied each other. And it was like, ha ha ha, payback, yada yada yada. And Megan decides to be like, I mean, I wish you didn't pie me. I wish you probably would have kissed me. And y'all was like, She was like, what? You don't want to kiss me? He was like, I do, but I'm not. Because I just kissed Sally and I'm not gonna be disrespectful and turn around and kiss you. She was like, I mean, why? It's just you could kiss me. He was like, I'm not gonna kiss you. She was like, come on, kiss me. And he was like, no, not gonna kiss you. But it was good chatting with you. Literally,
good to see you, buddy.
Buddy hugged her and walked away. I was like, how embarrassing for you. And he was like, if this was me 4 years ago, I would have straight away jumped in and kissed her.
Yep.
He said, did I want to? Yes. But am I going to? No, because I don't want to disrespect Sally. I just got here and I don't want to get in that kind of drama this fast, this early. So absolutely not. Not go kiss my ex. Not go do that. And I was like, good on you, y'all.
Purr.
Period. Good on you, y'all. And so Megan, she tells, I think she told Jess, or
no, I thought the whole thing was she didn't tell anybody.
Well, she told somebody, and they were like, she said, should I? She told Georgia. She told Georgia, and she was like, should I say anything to Kira? And Georgia was like, I don't know. I think she said honesty is the best policy. She said, I think you should say something
yes.
because honesty is the best policy in here. And if you want to start off something, you want to be honest. And so she was like, yeah.
She really should have.
But she didn't. So she did not tell Kira anything about this. And a whole day went before this game happened. So she had plenty of time to tell Kira. And she didn't. And so we get to this game.
Yes. I did find Mora's Love Island promo if you would like to see it, Lana.
I would love to see it. Bring it up.
Like, look at her.
It's a good picture.
Look at her.
It's a good picture. For sure.
She should have won. She should have won her series. Anyway.
He said they said what they said.
I said what I said.
Anyway. So we get to the game. And Morris is asking, at first it's very nice, sweet questions. Pleasantly pleasant questions. What's the best feature of this person? What do they think? And Callum says,
fucking Callum.
It will be Callum to be like, tits? And Liberty was like, my eyes?
And I love Mora going, man, Liberty.
Man. Which I stand for that.
Were you not obsessed with her Irish accent, or were you not obsessed with her Irish accent?
I was very much obsessed with her Irish accent.
When she said 33, I died.
33.
I died.
I was very much obsessed. I was very much obsessed with her accent. I was like, yeah, I can see why. If I was a guy who did not have an Irish accent myself, I would be obsessed with her and obsessed with her accent. Talk to me.
Lana, do we go back and watch old seasons of Love Island?
Logan, stop it. Just stop it, okay? You are adding more and more and more to our things that we have to do. Just stop it right now. Because you put that out in the atmosphere and then we do it. And it's just stop it.
But you know you would enjoy it. That's the issue.
Stop it.
Specifically Love Island UK.
Stop it. Logan. Jeez. Okay. We'll think about it.
Maybe.
That's the best I can do.
Do we alternate Project Runway and Love Island seasons?
If you don't leave me alone. If you don't leave me alone.
Anyway, this lovely game where Callum's talking about tits. Shocker. And then out of nowhere we get, was it who would your partner want to dump next, or who do you think is faking their relationship next? I don't remember which one.
It was, who do you think your partner thinks is faking their relationship on the island? And
oh God,
Georgia writes Sally and y'all, and Sally is like, wait, what? And she says, and so Toby says, did he say Johnny and Jess?
I think so.
I think he said Johnny and Jess. And she was like, what? But didn't we have that conversation? Didn't you say Sally was faking, or you thought Sally was faking? And so Sally was like, what? What? Toby? What? I just covered up with you all. So you think I was faking it with you? And he was like, I mean,
yeah.
She was like, so she's hurt. She's baffled by this. She is baffled by this. Most people pick Johnny and Jess. Somebody picked Jack and Justine. And then most of the people were picking Megan and Kira.
Because in the previous round, I don't remember what the question was.
I do.
What was the question, Lana?
The question was, out of all the Islanders, who would your partner think you would want to kiss?
Oh, yeah.
Is who you want to kiss. And so that pretty much everybody got the questions right because yeah, pretty much everybody got the questions right. But then when it got to ER, she was like, oh no, it wasn't who would you like to kiss. Who would they would like to kick out? Like who would that person want to kick out? And so of course Shelly was like Johnny, and ER was like Megan. And they guessed like their partners both guessed right because they knew who they were probably going to get rid of. And so when Maura was like, so y'all had this thing with the pies yesterday, he was like, yeah, we had pie. He was like, some other pie. She said, when's the last time you pied Megan? And he was like, oh, yesterday. And she said, no, you didn't do it again? And he was like,
Baby Maura trying to stir up drama. I love it.
Stir. And she was like, you didn't pie her again? Like, and he was like, what you trying to ask, Maura? What are you
trying to imply, Maura?
He was like, what? And he was like, I mean, I guess we had a chat and she wanted to kiss me and I said no. And so Sally was like, what? And she was like, huh? And everybody's like, oh. And so she's like, Megan, what's that about? She was like, I mean, it was a flirt. I was flirting. It's a flirtatious thing. That's what we do. And so Kira's seething in this moment.
Human.
She's human. And Sally is like, wow. So y'all like, I mean, so these boys keep going. She keep going. She's like, so why did you reject the kiss? And he was like, I didn't want to be disrespectful to Sally. I mean, I just kissed her. I didn't want to turn around and kiss Megan. And Sally was like, oh. I was like, it's so little. It's just a little. We go all over again. Like, oh, thanks, babe. That's so cute. I was dying. So Megan looks like she just want to fall through the earth. Like open the floor and let her fall in. A trap door was needed for Megan. She wanted that trap door. She could not.
I'm going to use the trap door.
She wanted it. She wanted the trap door, but it never came, and she had to sit there. And so that's why everybody started saying Megan, and it was faking her relationship with Kira.
Yep.
It was just, it was so crazy. So after the game dispersed, we find out who won, and the team who ended up winning was Johnny and Jeff.
I'm not surprised by that.
Not honestly. Surprised at that.
Because then it was what? Jackstein in second?
Yep.
And Georgia and Toby came in third. Not surprised by any of those, if I'm being honest. But we also find out, Lana, that winning this competition means absolutely fucking nothing towards being the power couple of the week. And this pissed me off. This pissed me off because I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? The one triumph Jess has had in this entire fucking season. You look at her, because I'm pretty sure they got every single question right, and she's just like, oh my God, like she's so happy. And then you had to ruin her happiness. Because then we find out that all of the points that the teams won in the competition are converted into coins, and then each team is going to disperse their coins amongst the teams that they want to put in the duel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the duel is back! Yay! And boy, did it cause drama. We'll talk about the duel here in a second. But I was like, the duel! Yay! And we find out that the two teams with the most coins are then vulnerable, and then they have to go into the duel. and the team, the couple that loses the duel, has to leave immediately.
Shock.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. Well, they're putting Callum and Liberty in, and they'll probably put in fucking Justin Johnny because recency bias is a fucking thing in this villa. And they're going to vote in Johnny and Jess because A, they're competitive. B, most people there don't like Johnny. C, they just won the challenge. So, well, fuck. And guess what happened? Both of those fucking things, Lana.
I mean, but we need to talk about who won the power couple, too.
Trust me, I am beyond thrilled. Because our power couple is Imani and Ray. And I'm thrilled for them. Don't get me wrong. Lovely, fabulous, and wonderful. However, why go through all the bullshit of that? We all knew if it came down to a vote amongst the group, not a damn person is trying to target Imani and Ray. And you want to know why? Because there's so many Love Island US people in this. That's why. Am I mad about that statement? No. But I would have liked to see more intercontinental alliances. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, if they would have started out with that, if they would have started the season with that, it probably would have worked. If it
started the season with an equal amount of people across all franchises, I think it would be a different story.
Well, you know what? We actually almost had that. You want to know who ruined it? Toby.
I know.
Toby ruined it. We almost had that because Jack and Justine were very willing and happily ready to work with Sally and Toby. 1 2 US, 2 UK.
It literally would have been Sally and Toby, Justine and Jack, probably Lisa and Curtis.
If they would have got it together.
And probably Callum and Liberty.
Maybe Ray and Imani.
Well, probably Ray and Imani. I'm thinking if you're doing purely a UK alliance with everybody attached, then that would be the case. But probably Imani and Ray. But Toby
ruined it. Toby ruined the way to have an intercontinental cross alliance thing.
But am I mad at the way this whole thing is turning out? No, I'm really not. Honestly, I'm not. But yes, Imani and Ray are our power couple. And they win a night in the hideaway. Yay! Now, Lana, I want to know if you noticed that in the hideaway, this plush hideaway we got. I love this hideaway, by the way. But in the hideaway, there is a little door on the side that says, I think it says something to the effect of like, open me for fun. Or like, there's more fun if you open, like, more fun behind this door or some bullshit like that. You know how Love Island does. And it was closed. When we left Imani and Ray. And then if you look at the shot the next morning, that door is cracked open.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look.
I can only assume what things were inside that.
More fun.
And if that is the case, I'm glad for them.
Work.
I hope so.
I mean, why not?
That would have made what happened this episode even worse. Oh, God.
Well, but work. But we do, while we're in the hideaway, Ray and Imani, they get a text. They get a text. And the text says, congratulations, you're the power couple of the week. And now you need to make a decision because you have the power to save one of the vulnerable couples in the duel. Take them out of the duel. But then you have to replace them with one of the safe couples and put them in the duel. Scandalous. So,
was it optional? Because I felt like from the verbiage that they used,
I thought it was optional. Me too. I thought it was optional. But I don't know. Wasn't. Maybe it wasn't because they
dove immediately into, oh shit, okay.
Right. What do we do? So we go and we know for the duel,
Yeah.
gonna be Callum and Liberty.
Yep.
And we know it's gonna be Jess and Johnny. Now, Imani and Ray have to decide who they were going to save, who they were going to put in the duel.
The duel.
The duel. And they decided that they were going to, and let's first, well, they make their decision in the hideaway.
Yeah.
And so they decided they weren't going to say anything about it until the duel. They weren't going to talk about it to nobody. So they leave the hideaway the next morning. Everybody's like, yeah, good to see you. Everybody's happy. And they just going on about their business. They eating breakfast. They getting ready. They
what's in that omelet? Bacon and sour cream. Ooh, you want some? No, I'm good.
I'm good.
All right.
All right. We just talking and chit-chatting away to people. And, oh, you look gorgeous today, girl. Thanks. And we don't say a thing.
Not a damn thing, Lana.
Not a thing. To nobody. To nobody. So, now it's time for the duel.
The duel.
And so Moira's back, and she's like, so Johnny and Jess, Callum and Livy, come join me. They go down there, and they're like, are you ready? They're like, yep, we're ready. Let's do this. She said, oh, Imani and Ray, how was your night in the hideaway? And they're like, it was fine. It was great. We had a good time. We talked. It was fun. She's like, did you get a text? And they're like, yep, we did kind of get a text. And they were like, in the hideaway? Everybody's like, oh, in the hideaway? What? And so they're like, so what did the text say? And they're like, so we had to pick a couple in the duel to save and replace them with somebody else. Everybody's freaking out now.
It's Jess's reaction for me because she just it's you watch her realize what's happening and she goes, and then they reveal their decision
that they are going to save Jess and Johnny. And they're going to replace them with Toby and Georgia. And everybody's like, what? Sally is full-blown tears at this point now.
Yep.
She's like, oh my God, no. Oh, everybody's like, what? No.
And the best part, too, is earlier in the day, we had heard Georgia in confessional go, I'm so happy I don't have to do this duel today.
Oh, man. Oh, before we even jump into that, because Toby and Sally did have a conversation before this.
They did. And it did not end well.
No, because it was a bunch of back and forth. Toby is frustrating to me. Sally is frustrating to me in this conversation. Because both of them want the same thing, but neither one of them want to go about doing it. I was like, y'all too much alike. Both of y'all high maintenance. I'm sorry. Toby is so high maintenance. He wants to be pursued. Sally wants to be pursued. And they can't both be the pursuer. Somebody got to be the pursuee. Somebody got to be the pursuee at some point in time in the relationship. But both of them want the other person to make the first move. And then Sally's like, I feel like I've been doing all the work, which she has, if you want to be honest. She was the one initiating everything. And Toby is like, his whole, really? You want to kiss me? Okay, why don't you do it then? Like, she has to bring it up. Like, I don't want to kiss you. Really? You do? Oh, everything is somebody else has to do it. I'm like, Toby, you're man up. Like, go for what you want, man. And like Jack even tried to tell him, and he just frustrating. So both of them was going back and forth about who wasn't doing what and why they wasn't doing it, and who I wasn't faking, you weren't faking. I don't know if you faking. I don't know if you want me. You just instantly went into this new relationship and forgot all about me. We don't talk. I tried to talk to you. You wouldn't talk to me. As soon as George walked in the room, you just left. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. Round, around, around. Nothing got resolved, honestly, in my opinion. But they said, it's fine. We're fine. We're cool. Now Toby is in the duel. And Sally is like, oh my gosh, oh. And the people are like, I don't know, they're so new, they're so fresh, they didn't get a chance to cultivate their relationship and da 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 da. Oh my God, oh man.
Now, here's what I'm going to say about this choice. I think this choice would have been so cunty and so badass by Imani and Ray had they not been so fucking remorseful after the fact, saying, oh no, we fully regret our decision. Okay, baby, then who else would y'all have wanted to go in yourselves? Because I can guarantee, as much as I think Imani and Ray are a very strong and powerful couple, I don't think a damn couple was beating Callum and Liberty in this duel. Point blank period. I don't think a single couple would have beaten Callum and Liberty in this duel.
I think Johnny and Jess could have beat Callum.
I don't think so. And I think
Johnny would have killed them by themselves.
I don't. Well, okay. Here's the thing, though. I don't think Johnny beats, because I mean I love Jess dearly, but in a physical comp like this, I don't see her factoring in nearly as much. I think it would have been closer than what we got. But I don't see Johnny and Jess beating Callum and Liberty in this. And I think it comes down to how strong and how focused Liberty was in this duel.
Okay. Counterpoint. This is why I think Johnny and Jess would have won.
Okay.
Because what took them out, what happened with Callum and Liberty and how they were, it was the long game. They could hold, Johnny would have been the same thing. They would have had, I think Callum would have gassed out and Liberty would have gassed out first. And Johnny would have had less weight with Jess to just pull her along with him. That's why I think Callum and Liberty would have lost against Johnny and Jess, because they would have just been low and they would have just been tugging. And Callum would have gassed out. And if Liberty gassed out and Callum didn't, I think Jess is lighter than Liberty, so Johnny could have easily pulled her along than Callum would pulling Liberty along. That's my only reason.
Counterpoint to your counterpoint. I don't know that Johnny goes in the sort of down crouched mode. I honestly think Johnny would go in similarly to the way that Toby attacked this. If I'm being honest, just based on Johnny's background, we know he's played a lot of sports. I feel like he goes in football drill running. And that's what Toby did, and it didn't work for Toby. I see Johnny trying to tackle it in a similar way, and I see Jess maybe trying to tackle it in a similar way. And I think if they're able to gain momentum in the first 3 seconds, I think they win. I don't necessarily see that happening. I do see your scenario, and I definitely think it could happen. But I don't think in a best of 5, I think Callum and Liberty combined still have more overall stamina than Johnny and Jess would have.
Counterpoint to your counterpoint to my counterpoint back to your counterpoint. I think if they would do the whole 3-second thing and it wasn't working, Johnny has the competitive nature in him to adjust quicker than Toby. Like Toby he didn't know how to adjust to get low. Welcome home, Lucas. He didn't know how to get low and hold the thing.
I'm screaming right now.
I'm sorry.
You're not wrong.
I heard it. But yeah, I think Johnny would be able to hold, like adjust. If it's like, okay, this isn't working. Babe, this is what we got to do. We have to stay low, because even when they were cheering for whoever and cheering for Toby, and he was the one telling him, stay low, get down, hold your position, let them gas out. So I think he had that mentality in his head once he saw what the duel was, and that's why I think both of us could be right.
Counterpoint to your counterpoint to my counterpoint to your counterpoint to my counterpoint. You're beautiful. That's all. I also love that we ripped this challenge straight from the challenge. I was like, okay, cool. Okay. I thought this was very entertaining, though. I will be honest in saying that I am happy with who survived the duel.
Me too. I am too. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be right into it because person who just lost.
Bye.
And this has nothing to do with Georgia and everything to do with Toby.
And for me, it has everything to do with Georgia and a little bit to do with Toby because I just didn't like Georgia.
Why?
I didn't really like her. I don't know. I found her very standoffish in a lot of scenarios. When she wasn't with Toby or someone she was interested in, I found her just very standoffish. I thought the whole snooping around while Sully was talking about her feelings about Toby and then going straight to Toby about it. Now, I found that shady. And I was like, I don't like that. At least announce your fucking presence. Be like, I'm so sorry, girl. Like, I understand. I understand that you were just coupled with him. I understand I took him from you. Your feelings are valid. I found all of that really shady, and I really did not like that from Georgia.
I agree with that.
So I'm like, bye, you can go. I'm glad your stay was short. Bye. Because we'll talk about it, but these 3 bombshells that came in, good, great, cool, love it. Bye. Bye.
So, yeah. So one thing we hadn't talked about this whole time, somebody listened.
Well, we only really see it in the duel.
Yeah, once it gets a duel, Megan she wasn't feeling well, so she wasn't at the duel. So it's like, oh, okay. So Megan's not feeling well. We'll see her the next day. So Toby and Georgia, they're gone.
And we do see a final conversation between Toby and Sully.
Yeah.
And Sully is just like, I can't let you leave without letting you know that, like, I have no ill will against you. And I did love this conversation. They finally resolved it. And of course, it's after Toby's been dumped. But I'm like, okay, cool. At least that's happening. For me, I was like, good. Now Sully can just focus on y'all and not have to focus on Toby. Because I like y'all much more for Sully than I do Toby. But at the end of the day, I just want what is best for Sully and what makes her happy.
Me too. That's all I care about.
Exactly.
And so the next day,
passing comment by the narrator. I'm like,
very passing.
I'm like, they literally like wake up, they start to do their thing, and it's like, Megan has left the game for medical reasons. Anyway, here's a chat, and I'm like, what? And then we see people talking about it, but we don't see anything about it, and I'm like, Megan's gone? What? Like, what the fuck do you mean, narrator?
What do you mean?
Ian, I think his name is Ian. Ian, what the fuck do you mean, Ian? like
you couldn't just drop a bombshell on us like that and don't tell us why or give us nothing. You just, Megan's gone.
A new bombshell has entered the villa via the narrator. Like, what? I will say, I'm sad to see Megan go. She has since talked on socials. Maura did an interview with her. Definitely not him. Maura did an interview with her on the Love Island social media, as well as she's talked a little bit on her personal Instagram and on her Instagram story. She has been dealing with pelvic inflammatory syndrome, I think or disease. I don't know which it is. Regardless, she did say that was her reasoning for leaving. And there have been many people online also talking about how she actually posted on her story about it while this was filming. I don't know when it was filming necessarily, but apparently she was talking about it in many instances. It's not brought up in the actual Love Island USA Instagram interview, but that's what we believe it to be. Some people are like, well, it's very convenient that she just like couldn't handle the blah 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 whatever. And if that is part of the case, whatever, so be it. The point is, I am disappointed to see Megan go. I would have liked to see how she would have resolved or attempted to resolve this scenario, and I would have been interested to see. Personally, I would have been really excited to see 3 bisexual women in the Love Island villa at the same time, and I think that really would have been a lovely thing to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do know what you're talking about.
I think it would have been
Because
lovely
I got
to see.
there yet.
Well, I didn't bring up who it was.
Anyway, Logan is the king of jumping ahead and spoiling everything.
Because 3 new bombshells entered the villa. I was just very excited to do the line. Sorry.
That's fine. There we go. Bombshell number 1 is Carrington.
Yay!
From U.S. Love Island season 2.
They are really making it known that the Love Island franchise really loves season 2 and kind of only season 2.
That's who we love.
They brought back Love Island USA season 2 people all around, all the things. Because isn't that's Olivia too, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now she's been over on the challenge.
No, that was 3.
Was that 3?
It was 3. She was Cachet season and Cinco.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why haven't they brought anyone back from season 3? That's what I would like to know, personally.
I mean,
where is Cachet? That's what I would like to know.
Ain't nobody rocking with Cachet no more.
Oh, do we not?
Cachet is weird sometimes on these
socials. I did not know that.
With a lot of people, she's been
Where's
weird.
Trina? Where's Trina?
That's too bad to bring Trina back.
Where's Trina?
But
they could have had the holy trinity, pun intended, of fabulous, it would be 4 of them. Because just imagine if Kira, Justine, oh wait, no, it could have been 5 of them. Imagine if Kira, Justine, Zeta, who we're seeing soon apparently, Imani, and Trina were all in the same season. Could you imagine?
I could imagine. Oh, I could.
I would like to be imagining, Lana.
Me too. But let's talk about Carrington. Carrington is here. I'm thrilled to have Carrington back. Carrington was somebody who I liked on the season, and he said something in this episode that made me go, exactly, because everybody called Carrington a player, and I was like, I didn't think he was a player. I just thought people just liked him, and it's not his fault that them girls was coming in liking him, and he just did what, and he was like, I've been in relationships. I'm a relationship guy, but it's all of a sudden I'm a player. I was like, you're right, Carrington. You were not a player on the show. The girls just came in and they just happened to like you. And a lot of them liked him. And he just picked the one who he felt the most connected with. And some girls got their feelings hurt. And I'm sorry, but that's the nature of the game. I like Carrington on his season, and I'm liking Carrington even now. So.
Adding to that group of Love Island season 2 people, like, damn.
Right. It's just beautiful. It was just beautiful. I love it. And then we have the beautiful Courtney. Courtney comes in looking stunning, I will say. And she's like, I'm ready to have some fun. I'm here for it all. I was like, girl.
I love that you trying to do her laugh is peaking your mic so much that we do not hear it. And that is my favorite part.
Oh my God.
I love that it's peaking so much. I'm a big fan of that, actually.
I'm going to make sure you hear me doing the laugh.
There we go.
Excited.
I just want to share my energy with you.
I just want to be everything to everybody.
Hold the most people for chats in one day that we've seen this series, and I'm kind of here for it. We'll talk about it. But at first I was like, oh God, this fucking, and I mean this in the most loving and wonderful way, but this fucking bimbo. And then we find out she likes girls too, and I was like, great, love her, period queen. I'm like, oh, she's one of us. That's why she's doing it. Great, cool. Yes, queen.
Lord, you're so easily swayed.
Honestly, when it comes to queer people in Love Island, yeah.
Yep, you are.
But I do really like, by the end of this one episode, I went on a journey with Courtney in this one episode. I was like, because I did not watch season 4 of USA.
Me either.
But I went on a journey with her in this one episode. I was like, oh dear. Oh, Courtney. That was the journey.
Okay. But then following with Courtney and Carrington is the sexy Mike from
Mike.
the UK.
All right, Mike.
I was like, okay. And Mike came in with a plan. And he knew who he wanted, and he was wasting no time going after what he wanted. Because they had a pool party.
Yep.
Dang it. We jumped it again, but we'll go back. So they had a pool party before the bombshells got there.
Oh my God, we forgot to talk about the most important part of the fucking episode.
I'm about to say, here we go, because I was going to get there regardless of when it came or what happened. But we had a pool party. I'm going to put this down because I don't want to have Mike on the screen when we're talking about this moment.
We don't got to just look at Mike.
No. So we have the pool party happening.
Yep.
Everybody's dancing and having a good time. And we finally, and I say finally, get a real conversation between Jack and Justine.
Thank God.
Thank God. I feel like the producers are like trying to skirt around the issue that Jack and Justine is talking, and we don't get to see it. And I'm like getting nervous about that. But we finally get a conversation between Jack and Justine, and they're talking, and Justine is kind of like, look, I just want to know how we working right now, because low key, I'm feeling you. I got some feelings for you. And Jack is like, really? Because I feel the same way about you. And I was like,
Jackstein.
I was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, I mean, because I didn't want to just keep. He said, well, the more we hang together, the closer I feel to you. And she's like, yeah, and you know how I told you about what happened to me on my last season and how I didn't want to go in and get hurt because I thought he was genuine and it didn't work. And I'm just like nervous and scared, but I'm kind of feeling you and I don't know how you feel. He's like, I'm feeling you too. And I'm like, I know this is weird because like, then he started talking about future plans because he was like, because you live in LA and I live in London, and I just don't expect you to just pick up sticks and head over to London. But I mean, that's a ways away from now. And I was like, are we thinking about the future, Jack? Are we thinking about wanting Justine to move to London, or you move to like what is happening here? But I was here for it. And they were like, he was like, but I just know I'm feeling you too. And I was like, and then they kissed, and I was like, oh.
I screamed, cried, and threw up. Oh.
I woke up. This is why I knew we needed to record this episode. Because I woke up this morning, and that was all over my timeline.
Oh, yeah, same.
And I was like, oh, let me watch this episode.
Fuck.
I was like, shoot, let me watch this episode. And I watched it, and I was like, that's so much.
Normally, we would have cut off our coverage after the dumping, but nah, we got to talk about, we have to do today.
We got to talk about this, because the Jack scene of it all, baby, is giving me all the life. And so I'm like very, very happy when people are feeling Justine, because all I want, my bias is definitely showing, I want everything happy and success for Justine. That's all I want.
If Justine and Sully together win this season of Love Island Games, that's what we would all want.
I love all the couples, all the other couples. I like them a lot. But my true and only stand card belongs to Justine. So whatever makes Justine happy, and I love Imani, I love Shelly, I love Bray, and y'all is growing on me. Kira's great. Love them all. Appreciate them all. Carrington coming in, I love him. I love them all. But if Justine is happy, then I am happy. The moment Justine is not happy, I am no longer happy. I'm sorry. Yep. That is where I stand. For me. For me.
I'm with you.
Her.
I'm with you.
Her. So, yeah, that conversation happens. Then the bombshells come in. And they're like, yeah, let's do this.
They go and everyone's just asking, oh, what do you want in a partner? And I think it's Sully that goes, okay, who are you feeling? And Jack goes, oh no, it up. You should go kiss who you're interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike said, I'm gonna waste no damn time, walks right over and makes out with Justine. And I'm like, Jack
was instantly regretting his decision. He was like,
Sully is sitting next to Jack, just being like, you asked for this, bro.
Ask for this, bro.
So Mike goes to kiss Justine.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carrington goes and kisses Kira.
Mm-hmm.
And then Courtney goes and kisses, it's Johnny, right? At this point, or is it later?
She kisses Jack.
Oh, she kisses Jack. No, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then Mike says, nah, let me go again. And then Mike goes and kisses Imani, and I'm just like,
run this back. Mike is the bombshell that I love because he shows no mercy, and it's like, I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in hot, and you can't do nothing about it. I love it.
He does have chats with both Imani and Justine later, and what I loved is Imani going like, I mean, he's coming in hot, but I appreciate it. I mean, having been a bombshell myself, I get it. And you have to make an impression, and this is how he's doing it, and I'm impressed with it. And I think two of these three bombshells are doing a pretty damn good job of making a good, dominant impression right off the bat. One of them, not so much. We'll talk about him because I want him to be more open to other people, specifically one specific person, because I think they would actually be really cute together. Anyway, so then Sally is like, well, why don't we all just play spin the bottle? And I'm like, okay, cool. We're making our own challenges. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's kissing everybody. Everybody's kissing. Now, I got to say, though, the one that got me was Courtney and Justine.
I knew that was going to get you.
I was like, ah! Because we find out as they're getting ready that Courtney is in the girls' dressing room, and she looks at Kira. She goes, oh, you're in my top 3. And Kira goes, oh, you're into women? And she's like, yeah.
Like that.
And Kira's like, okay, then. All right, then. Okay, then. Great. So they're doing all the things. And once again, Lana, I felt bad for Jess. And it's based solely on just she had one good spin on that bottle and it landed on fucking Callum. I'm like, it couldn't have been another woman. It couldn't have been any other man in that villa. And it landed on Callum.
They're freaking setting him up.
They should have. One of them should have done what Mike did later.
No.
And just landed it on the person they wanted. I thought that was smooth. I was like, oh, okay, I see you there. Yeah, I was like, oh, Jess. And then Johnny's over here making out with everybody, and Jess is getting upset at Johnny again. And then they have a conversation the next morning, and they're over it, and whatever. And Jess is like, and then she cries the next morning.
Why do I feel like I'm second best? And I'm sick of being second best.
Because unfortunately, in the way that Johnny's looking at this game right now, Jess, you are.
You are.
And it's upsetting and frustrating because I do think Jess is a really strong competitor in the game. And if you had told me at the start of the season that Jess was the float around partner, I wouldn't have believed it. Because I thought she would have had something stable with somebody. No.
I mean, I feel like with the way she acting, don't nobody else want to be like spend that time, because what Johnny getting, they go get, and they like, I don't want you always fuming at me and always fuming at me if I talk to somebody else. It's crazy, but
valid and fair, and fair and valid.
Right. So I get it, but I wouldn't have thought she would be that person either. But after we get all of that, we go to the next day. And like you said, Mike and Courtney are coming in hot. They picking people. They pulling people for chats left and right. Mike picks.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Mike gets Justine first, right out the gate. He come out the room, go right to Justine. And so they go to Soul Ties and they talking. And they're chit-chatting, and Mike is laying it on thick. Like, he was smooth as butter. And I was like, dang, Justine, if I was, I'd be looking.
This was 2 days ago. I think Justine would have been turned.
A little bit. She would have been confused. Like, I don't know.
But they brought Carrington in, or they brought Mike in at the wrong time.
Yeah, because after Justine, and I feel like Justine is one of those people, once I say how I feel, that's when my heart is there. I'm sticking with it. And so once she was able to get to that point where she felt comfortable enough to tell Jack how she felt, she's like, ain't nothing gonna change. And like, even when they kissed, she was like, the kiss was nice, but the kiss is better with feelings. And my kisses with Jack is so much better. I was like, oh my God, guess Justine, girl, get it. And Justine told Sally and it was
Sally and
Kira and
Liberty.
They were up there talking, and she told him, I was like, I told Jack how I feel about him, and they were like, oh my gosh. And then Sally got emotional. She was like, I had a moment where I was looking at y'all and I was like, he the one, girl.
And I love this moment for the emotional moment between Sally
and then Kira
and Justine. But then Kira going,
what's going on?
What's
happening?
I love Kira. I love her.
Because Justine, Sally is like, and Justine was like, girl, don't you do it. Girl, don't you cry. If you cry, I'm gonna cry. Don't you do it. Kira's like, what's happening?
Liberty the whole time is just like,
oh.
But Kira's like,
what's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening?
I love that.
It was so funny. It was so many moments in that one moment.
Truly, honestly, and genuinely.
There's so many moments in that moment. And so then Mike goes and after him and Justine hug it out, and he told Justine she could upgrade. I was like, you could upgrade. And I was like,
dare you say that about my Jack?
How dare you? But and Justine was like, I mean, I got Jack. I don't know about an upgrade, but I was like, okay. I was like, I don't know about an upgrade, Mike, but I mean, you cute.
I think they're both lovely options. However, Jackstein.
Right. I'm here for Jackstein. I'm sorry. There's where my heart is right now.
Unless Justine ends up picking Mike. And then in that case,
Mike Steen.
We'll reconsider.
We'll reconsider. But as far as right now, Jackstein.
Period.
But Then he goes and talks to Imani.
Yeah.
And like I said, he was very forthcoming and with Imani. And she was like, okay, I feel you. I'm impressed because he coming in hot like I know Bombshell should. Then we were with Courtney. And
Well,
Courtney.
I want to
ahead.
talk about Carrington first because Courtney then
Oh,
kind of intersects the Carrington. Because
true, true, true.
Carrington is the first person that pulls Kira
Mm-hmm.
for a chat, and they're talking, and they have a lot in common. They're talking about travel, and Carrington's like, I'm more of like a travel virgin, and Kira's like, well, I can definitely take you places, and I'm like, I know you can, girl.
Mm-hmm.
We know.
Yes, yes.
And then while this is happening, I think
Mm-hmm.
Courtney pulled Callum first.
Yes.
I think it was. Yeah, so Courtney pulled Callum first. They have a conversation, and she goes, honestly, I can't do the voice right now. But she was like, honestly, I wasn't really expecting to pull you, but last night really impressed me because they kissed and it was a really nice moment. It's kind of the first time Callum's really had anyone like seriously interested in him in this villa, which I'm like, yay, Callum. And then we'll talk about it because it doesn't go anywhere immediately. But they're talking, and she's like, oh, you're a bull in a china shop. And Callum is like, yeah, I'm very energetic, but like when it comes to smaller situations, I'm a lot more intimate and things like that. But if I'm in a group, I'm the loud one, blah, blah, blah. They finish their conversation. Lovely, wonderful, great, and fantastic. Courtney goes immediately. And while Carrington and Kira are talking, Courtney pulls Kira, and they're having a conversation. And honestly, I'm going to be honest, this felt very surface level to me.
Mm-hmm.
So then when Courtney was like, I just want to like share my energy with you. And Kira's like, oh yeah, how so? And then Courtney just goes straight in for the kiss. I was like, oh, Jesus. Okay. Goodness. I did love that we had a very open conversation about open relationships between Courtney and Kira here. I thought that was very lovely. Because I don't think we get that very often, at least in the Love Island I've seen, we don't really see it. And I'm like, okay, cool. I love that we're having this very open dialogue. Love it, wonderful, and great. They leave their conversation. Meanwhile, when all of this is happening, Lana, I'm going to pause so you can say your piece.
Because before you move on, I have thoughts about that conversation.
Oh, yes, please do.
I felt Courtney pulled Kira for the TV time. I felt she was doing this because she knew not a lot of this would get airtime. And because who doesn't love to see two girls kissing? And I thought she thought this was going to be something fresh. Maybe she didn't know about Megan and Kira before. She thought she was going to be the first
Presumably,
one.
I don't think so, because I don't think the Bombshells really know a whole lot about the house.
Right. And the dynamics. Right. So
it definitely
I don't
makes
think
sense.
she knows.
Yeah.
For me, it felt very like I want to be on TV. Yeah, she said she told her she was in her top 3. I felt like it was just a moment to get airtime because the conversation was very, very flat and, like you said, surface level for me.
Oh my God, my dad's from Brooklyn.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like it was genuine. Like I didn't think it was as genuine as the conversation Kira had just was having with Carrington.
Or to be fair, Courtney's conversation that she just had with Callum either.
Exactly. So it's kind of like it just didn't feel like it was very natural. Maybe it was produced. Maybe it was her wanting more airtime. I don't know. It just didn't feel like it was something like the connection that Megan and Kira had at the beginning. I didn't feel that with Courtney and Kira. It was just, but that's my opinion.
I kind of felt in a similar way, and I've kind of felt that way with Johnny as well. Because again, nothing up until this point that he's been doing is fundamentally wrong. However, this is my however, moment. He's literally laying with Jess and talking, and she's like getting the reassurance that she needs. She's like, oh, you really like me? He goes, yeah, I really like you. And she goes, okay, cool. And then Johnny immediately gets up, immediately. Does not take a stop, does not break, walking briskly over and pulls Courtney. And I'm like, you couldn't have gone to the bathroom first. You couldn't have waited until, Courtney was out of the line of sight. You couldn't have waited later in the afternoon. You couldn't have waited 5 minutes. No. Immediately goes and is like, you are the person I've been waiting to see walk through these doors. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. Bye, Johnny. I'm done. Because I've been fine with Johnny up until this point. He hasn't been my favorite. It's been whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment, I was like, nope, I'm done. Bye, Johnny. And it's unfortunate because I really like Courtney. And so I want to like Courtney. And I do. But I don't want her coupled with him. I'm just like.
Here's the thing. And here's where we are. Because I agree. That was a punk move from Johnny. To sit there, reassure Jess that he likes her. And then immediately get up and walk over to Courtney. Because that's just screwing with the girl's mind and her brain right now. And that's sick and twisted. I never ever said on this podcast ever that I thought Johnny was good or perfect or didn't make a lot of mistakes. Because I feel like Johnny needs to be more tactful in what he's doing, because fundamentally doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Fundamentally doing nothing wrong. But
on paper, nothing is wrong about this.
Right. But him not taking Jess's feelings into consideration, 100% wrong. Like, you even said it yourself, sir, that you need to tread lightly, figure out a way to talk to Courtney and get to know her without stumping on the relationship that you already have with Jess. And in order to do that, you need to play it a little bit more slicker than what you plan. Like, you are playing like a mess. Like, he is truly a bull in the china shop. He is tearing stuff up and not looking at the consequences falling behind him. Like, seriously, all he had to do was reassure Jess, get her feelings, like you said. Wait a couple of minutes, maybe pull Courtney when she's not in the sight of Jess. Wait till she walk into the bathroom and pull into one of them rooms upstairs or something. Like,
anywhere other than the fucking veranda she was laying in with you 30 seconds prior.
Like, you don't have to do that. And he just, I don't like how he's doing that and how he's treating Jess, because it's so and
disgusting.
And for her to have to feel like she's second best to everybody who walks in the villa, it's kind of gross. And he needs to he really needs to apologize to that girl, because what he's doing to her right in that moment is disgusting and foul. And just, if somebody did that to him, his feelings would be hurt. If a woman who he was actually actively liking started doing that to him, he would lose his mind, because he wouldn't know how to handle it. But he thinks he's so fly and so fine that he don't have to have consequences to his actions. And it's like,
I hope to God Courtney does that to him.
I hope so.
And I think Courtney is the right person to do that to him. But
it would be so funny if she turned his head and he was like, "This is the one. I'm not open no more. I'm closed." And she's like, "I'm open till I'm open." And she's constantly talking to everybody. I hope so. I wouldn't be mad at it. I wouldn't be mad at it. But then we get a text.
I got a text. It's a recoupling, and the bombshells have first priority. And I was like, y'all are really just trying to stir up all the damn drama, aren't you?
All the pot.
Several many couples are about to get broken up, because these three bombshells are not immediately picking Kira, Liberty, and Callum. I could have seen a universe where that happened, actually.
I mean, it could have.
If Mike was not gung-ho 100% on our beautiful melanated queens, which I'm happy he is.
Mm-hmm.
But I like both of their relationships, so I don't like it.
And it's so funny because immediately people start losing their minds. We saw Jealous Jack for the first time.
We saw Jealous Jack. We saw Jealous Ray.
Ray. Oh.
Ray and just... Now, okay, I gotta talk about Ray here because, again, the way he's acting towards Imani in this moment when they go to have their little chat is not good. And he's very cold. And Imani is like, I appreciate and I love that Imani is woman enough to go, okay, I respect his feelings. I respect his space. I understand what's happening. I'm being pursued. He's mad. I get it. All I needed Ray to do in that moment was look at her and tell her what he said in his confessional, where he's like, this has nothing to do with her. It has everything to do with the fact that I'm in this position again. And I'm upset about it. All he needed to do is look at her, take off the damn shades he's wearing, because that pissed me off too. And all he needed to do was just say, hey, I trust in what we have. I'm just frustrated. This has nothing to do with you inherently. You as a human, you as an individual, you as my partner. This has nothing to do with. This has to do with the fact that, once again, a bombshell is coming in. He's pursuing you. And now I am at risk of losing you as my couple again. That's all he needed to say, and be like, if you could give me space for a second, I appreciate it. I still trust in what we have, but I just need a second to process all of this without you being there. That's all he needed to do.
That's all he had to say, because everybody understands that you got to process these things. And I was like, and she's being so mature about knowing what you're going through. She's been a bombshell. She's been in. She knows she had to come in and break couples up.
Anyone is gonna get it. It's gonna be Imani.
She gets it. She understands. And he's just like, I was like, wait, just say something. Just tell her you still fighting for her. It don't matter who's coming in.
I fear another Sully and Toby scenario. I fear that that's going to happen with Imani and Ray. And I would not be surprised. And based on what I think is going to happen fully at this recoupling, because we don't see the whole recoupling.
No, we
based on what I think is going to happen, I think that could happen. And we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it, because let's get into these new couples that happened at this recoupling ceremony, because we only saw half the couples. Well, three. Only saw three new couples.
We only saw the bombshell choices.
So here are the new couples as we see it. So up first, Carrington has first pick, and to no one's surprise, Carrington picks Kira, and I was like, yay! And I think both of them are genuinely happy with the choice.
Yeah,
they seem to get along, and I can't wait to see where this goes and see where it leads with them. If they can, I think they'll be a strong team for the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're going to be great. I think they're going to be a good couple, and I can't wait to see what happens. I personally was very excited about this couple. I was like, yes.
And I'm glad that they had Carrington pick first, so that way, because we knew Courtney was interested in Kira. Now, do you think Courtney picks Kira?
I think she would.
I don't know.
I think she would.
I think she would, because she even says, Kira was my first choice. Kira would be my first choice, but I felt like the conversations I had with Callum and Johnny were a little bit stronger. So I don't know. I think given that, and that's why Courtney wasn't given the first choice, point blank period. But
point blank period. They were like, we already gave y'all a bisexual couple. We gave you a quick couple. Now we're not.
We're gonna wait a little bit. Maybe if things happen,
it could happen.
It could happen again. Maybe not.
We'll
yeah, I'm very excited for this couple though.
Me too. And then up next, it was my turn. And this is where my heart was in my stomach. I was like, who are you going to pick? Because Mike has been going back and forth and taunting Ray and Jack all day about, I might be picking your girl. I could be picking your girl. Who knows? Da da da. I was just like, oh, Lord, who is he going to pick? And I was scared. I was like, don't pick Justine. Don't pick Justine. And not that I wanted him to pick Ray.
No, I knew he wouldn't. I didn't want. I mean, I obviously didn't want him to pick either Justine or Imani, quite frankly. But I think in this moment, I think Mike, from the little bit we know about Mike so far, I think Mike is here to play the game, and Mike is here to establish. He's here to establish himself, and he's here to win. And Imani is the right choice between the two of them if he wants some. Because I love Justine dearly. She's not doing nearly as well as I thought she would be in competitions. Yeah, and Imani is the only woman that has been in a power couple. Yeah. It has been Imani and somebody. And it's probably going to be Imani and Mike.
I wouldn't be surprised about that.
Let's just be honest here. And that's why if what I think is going to happen happens, and Imani and Mike get power couple, I smell danger.
I don't think that. I don't think Imani will let that happen.
I don't think she will either, but I still smell danger.
Yeah, I don't think if Imani is the power couple, she is not putting. Yeah, no, she's not going to do that. But then Courtney picks Johnny, and she says, "This person told me that I was the person they were waiting for when I walked in, and
I know Courtney."
The conversation, the looks, the reactions from Jack and y'all, they were both like,
"Did you say that?
Did you say that?"
Oh shit!
And Johnny,
Jack and y'all were both just like, "Oh fuck!"
It was crazy because even Johnny knew he was screwed up when she said that, because he was like,
"Well, when he said that, I was like, oh fuck, she's picking Johnny. Ah fuck," and then Jess's oh god, and I know Courtney doesn't know better. And that's why I'm like, she didn't know. But then Jess is like, oh. Jess immediately is just like, lying fucking snake. And I'm like, oh!
She is bad.
And that's like, where we cut off with the preview of Jess saying, I would rather be coupled with a friend than coupled with a fucking snake. Fuck you. And I'm like, oh, baby. Ooh.
I was like, woo-wee. I don't know where this is gonna go, how it's gonna.
Oh, I know exactly how it's gonna go.
Oh, I know how it's gonna. Well, I'm trying not to. It's called a level of suspense, Logan, to the people.
There's no level of suspense with the way that they set this up. You can't blame us here in this scenario.
It is because we don't know. We didn't watch the next.
We have not watched tonight's episode. We're filming it. It's already out.
It's already out, and I'm going to watch it when I leave here.
I'm probably going to watch it later tonight. But do you want me to tell you what I'm pretty sure is going to happen?
No, I want you to say what you think is going to happen, not what you're sure is going to happen.
Well, what I think is going to happen is
what you think is going to happen. Thank you.
What I think is going to happen is Jack Steen, duh. Ayala and Selly, duh. Now, okay, I will say the Callum and Liberty and the Jess and Ray of it all, I think might be a little blurry. That's the only scenario where I see something different happening. But I do still think it's girls' pick.
Mm-hmm.
I do still think Liberty picks Callum if she picks first. Now, if Jess picks first, I see a universe where Jess potentially picks Callum.
I can see that.
But I don't think Callum or Ray is a bad option. She's already been coupled with Ray.
Right. She might pick Ray. Because I think
what I think will happen is that she picks Ray.
Yeah, I think she picks Ray. That was my thought.
To protect Ray for Imani is what I think will happen.
Yes, I think she
And
picks.
I think Liberty would do the same thing for Imani, because we do know Liberty and Imani are very close friends. So even in that scenario, Liberty might pick Imani, or Liberty might pick Ray to protect him for Imani. I don't know.
I think Liberty picks Callum
I
because
think
they
so.
already are a couple. They're friends. They know what each other's. They know each
They're
other.
strong
They're
competitors, and
strong
Liberty wants
together.
to win.
Right. And so I think Armani picks Ray because they were a couple before and
Jess picks Ray.
yeah, who did I say?
Imani.
Armani, because I always want them
Imani
together.
would pick Ray.
Armani would, but I think Jess picks Ray because we did see Jess felt comfortable enough with Ray to go to him earlier.
Yeah.
And him comfort her when she was feeling bad about Johnny.
Yeah.
So I think they are definitely friends. And so her saying, I want to pick my friend. I'd rather pick a friend than something with you, F you, blah, blah, blah. She was talking about Ray. So I think she's going to pick Ray. Liberty's going to pick Callum, and that's what's going to happen.
Probably.
But we'll be back to this at some point after the next dumping to talk about what happened.
Probably in 2 days at the rate we're at right now.
I think so. I think that's the way it's happening. But
right now,
it's fine with me because I love talking about this. This show is everything. The show is
I'm not mad
so much life. I am not mad at it at all, so I'm very happy. But that's about it, y'all. We have done all the talking that we can. We will be back as soon as another dumping happens to talk more Love Island games. You can follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok because we have funny moments and we're some funny people. So check us out over there. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. All the buttons, the likes, the shares, the notification bells, the follows, all of those things. And if you happen to hit the dislike button, hit it twice. And you can follow me and Logan on Twitter if you want. We talk about cool things. And Instagram if you want to do that too. And you can get your cup merch at the description below, LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com, cup mug, and all of our other cup merch. And that's it. So we'll see y'all next time, Islanders. Cheers, Logan.
Cheers. There we go. I got it.
Bye.
Bye.
That's all I got.